and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. My name is Mariah and I'm a real estate agent in the beautiful state of Oregon, and I am going to be going in depth and explaining the difference between being a buyer's agent versus a listing agent, working with buyers versus working with sellers. This is something that I've mentioned before in like little parts of my videos, but I've never done a full-on video just on this. And surprisingly to me, it is a very requested topic by you guys, which I haven't done a video on it because it sounds like a very boring topic to me, and I wouldn't want to watch a video on this, but you guys have requested it, so you're welcome. Here you go. That's what we're gonna be chatting about. So I have my iced coffee. You guys always ask me what I get to drink, because I have coffee in all my videos. This is a cold brew with cream. It's pretty much my go-to. Grab your beverage of choice. Let's jump into it. First, just to break it down and keep it simple, it's kind of obvious, but buyer's agent is the name for the person that represents the home buyer in the transaction, and listing agent is the name of the person that represents the home seller. So when you list a home, you're gonna sign a listing agreement with the seller. You are working for them. The listing agent is the one who decides what the commission is. Generally, we're a 6% company at Berkshire Hathaway. We have high standards. We do a lot for our clients. It's not always 6%. A lot of times it's gonna be 5.5 or even 5% of the sale price. So that percentage, let's just say 6% for old time's sake. I'm the listing agent and I'm listing the property at 6%. It is up to me how much of that percentage I want to give to the buyer's agent. Generally, the buyer's agent is going to get a little bit less than the listing agent, because the listing agent is the one who decides what they give to them out of that portion. The seller is the one who pays the buyer's agent and the listing agent. I personally always give at least 2.5% of the commission, which is usually half to the buyer's agent, because it's a good incentive to help get the home sold. You don't want to give them 2% or even 1.5%. I don't see that around here, but I know in the Portland market, there's a lot of discount brokers that don't give full services and really are doing the sellers a disservice, and they don't really know it, but they're discounting the commission so much and they're giving the buyer's agent like nothing. But you don't want to do that if you're an agent. So back to listing agent versus buyer's agent. So a lot of people say when you're new to the business that it's easier to work with buyers. I would say that it's just mainly less competitive. I think the reason why most new agents stick with working with buyers is because you can be more lazy, I guess, if you will. I've heard from other agents that they're scared to give a presentation. When you go in to list a home, you're trying to win the listing. You're there to convince that seller that you're the best realtor for the job. And oftentimes they're interviewing a good handful of other agents. So it is very competitive being a listing agent. You really have to be confident and you have to know your stuff. You gotta have systems in place. But once you have your systems in place, and I have a whole video where I talk about my systems that I use to keep my business streamlined and easy to make more and work less, and I will link that video down in the description below, so check it out. For example, one of my systems would be, before I go to give a listing presentation to a potential home seller, I am gonna send out a beautiful package in the mail, a presentation with all this information about my company, with client testimonials from previous home sellers that I successfully sold their homes for that were very happy with me. I'm gonna send them that packet in the mail, so it's gonna get delivered to their door before I even meet. That's one of my systems. I'm gonna do a market analysis and know what the right price is for that home. So once you have systems in place, I think it is easier being a listing agent, but it takes more work up front to get brushed up on your skills, to be good at walking into someone's home and being able to explain to them what you're gonna do for them and what your company is gonna do for them, and being able to listen to them and explain the listing process and all of that stuff. But once you put in the work, it's easier after that, because you put the home on the market, and after that, all the agents in town are gonna go to work for you to go show your home to their buyers. The home's being pushed out by you to 3,000 websites nationwide, globally. You're doing all the marketing and everything, but in a sense, you can be on vacation while all the other clients are showing your home, and obviously you still have to have your phone on you because you're coordinating showings or setting up showings and all of that, but you don't have to actively be there. It's kind of more of a passive income, if you will. So there's listing a home. One of the challenges that comes with listing a home is knowing the right price. Something I always try to do is stay up to date with the market. I'm constantly checking what things are selling for. I'm constantly checking the MLS for new listings. I'm constantly listening to market reports from various different outlets, so I'm in the know and know what homes are selling for. But secondly, you might know what the home should sell for, but convincing the seller and doing it in a manner that isn't going to offend them can also be a bit of a challenge, because there are many times when the sellers think their home is worth a lot more than it is, and it's your job to tell them the correct price. But a lot of times agents will just want to take the easy route and list it at a higher price. And I've done this before, I'm guilty of this, but you'll just want to take it at the higher price, but then it does them a disservice because it ends up sitting on the market and doesn't sell. And then soon enough, it's been 60 days and the buyers are wondering what's wrong with the home. Why isn't it sold? If it hasn't sold, there's obviously something wrong with it. So let's make a lowball offer. So that's why you don't want to list your home too high. That can be one of the challenges. So listing agent. Their responsibilities are having systems in place. You have to be an expert marketer, or your company has to be if they're doing it for you. You got to be really pushing that home out to everywhere possible, every avenue possible to get it sold in the quickest amount of time and for the most amount of money, and have it represented in the best, most positive manner. And then 3, of course, you have to be responsive, because you're going to be coordinating showings. You're going to be dealing with different things throughout the process. So that's the listing agent. And then we've got the buyer's agent. And really, working with buyers kind of feels like you're just a key, because they need you to get into the home. You need to be knowledgeable about the home and the area and the neighborhoods and all of that, and be able to give them advice on the buying process. You're not giving them a presentation or trying to convince them to work with you over someone else. The downsides to working with buyers would be, and I've said this before in my videos, you guys all know this, but you have less control over your time. If a buyer sees a house that they like and it just came onto the market, you kind of have to fit it into your schedule ASAP. You can't necessarily wait until it's a good time for you, because if you do, your buyer could miss out on that property and you're doing them a disservice. Once you have an accepted offer on a property for your buyer, it is your job as the buyer's agent to coordinate everything until we get to the closing table. And what I mean by that is it's your job to coordinate the inspection. And I always think it's a good idea to be able to give your clients suggestions for really great, reliable vendors. So have a good relationship with an inspector, for example, and you're gonna show up to the inspection, let the inspector in, let the buyers in if they choose to come to the inspection. You're gonna negotiate the repairs with the listing agent. So you're gonna write up a repair addendum, negotiating on your buyer's behalf, asking the seller to do repairs that come up if they choose to do that on the inspection report. Another question that I get asked a lot from you guys is, what are the best personality traits for listing versus working with buyers? And honestly, I really feel like any personality trait can succeed in either one of those things. I like to do both. I started my business working with sellers, and I still think that working with sellers and having listings is going to be the best business model, because it's just an assurance knowing you have a certain amount of listings, you got a certain amount of escrows. Like, it's just the assurance of running your business right and making sure that you're always having the amount of income coming in that you want to have as an independent contractor. When you have listings, it can lead to buyers, it can lead to more marketing, your name's out there more. It's just going to benefit your business in multiple ways. But I've worked with more buyers recently than I used to, just through these videos, and I've really learned to love working with buyers, and there's ways to make the process streamlined and easy, like I talk about in my video that I linked below. I think working with sellers, a high D, straightforward, get it done personality type can be helpful. I also think when you're working with buyers, having a personality type that likes people, that enjoys talking to people, that's friendly, is definitely going to be helpful, because if you don't have good people skills, but you're meeting new people all the time at houses, you're trying to make them feel comfortable, that would probably just be kind of awkward. So I think those are good personality traits to have, but at the end of the day, I also think those are personality traits that can be learned if you don't already have them, or if you do, you can like learn them better. So yeah, I'm just gonna leave this video there. I rambled a lot in this video, so I hope that it brought you value. If it did, hit that like button. And if you are watching this video and you are thinking about going to real estate school, then feel free to click the link in the description below and get a discount on the online course in your state, wherever that is at. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.